What's up, gang? Hope you're doing well. This video is a drop from Latin Davis. First of all, go like, go subscribe. Up to 2,000 subscribers, guys. One of the best players in the space. Let's get him up to 10. Get him up to 10K. Go like, go subscribe. I didn't get no water. Apparently, this is one of his training sessions that you guys sent through to me, and I'm excited to watch this. I wish more of the players put up their training sessions. So, as you know, he's one of my favorite players. Interested to see how he works out. A lot of music that we can't play. Last time I tried to play the music or play the workout video, I got copyright claimed. So you guys know how I feel about form shooting. I don't personally do form shooting, but like I said, for most people, if I'm putting up a workout for them, like I would include some form of form shooting. It's just a good way to lock in, but I think everyone has their own way to like lock in and get their shot warmed up. For me, it's the opposite. It's actually starting further away because it makes me focus on my mechanics, my balance a lot more. I have a bad habit of like mid-range shots, close range shots. It's flick of the wrist, so my mechanics don't matter as much. But from long range, having a stable base and then shooting and keeping my body lined up is super important. So I actually start from further back and then move in. It's wild, I know, but yeah, like 4 or 5 feet behind the 3-point line, and it just helps me get my mechanics where everything's solid. Then any shot I take closer than that, I just feel a lot more fluid. Honestly, he kind of this is how I assumed his workout started. It's funny, it's just a warm-up to get loose, but I mean, those are the areas he operates from, right? He operates from these elbows. I know obviously he's starting from the 3, but he gets those elbows and plays all those mini games we talk about. So getting reps in the shots that you're going to get in games, super important. Mike James spoke about this with his warm-up. Remember how he was doing those wide floaters, those hook shot floaters and stuff, and he's like, yeah, just warm up with the shots that I find myself getting in the game. Yeah, I mean, he's just repping out moves that he that he gets, the spots that he gets to when we watch him hoop. I like this. This kind of seems like a conditioning workout, though. We'll see what he does next. All right, so he does about 3 on each side. Can't really hear other than the copyright music. So now he's looking at bump scenarios. Okay. Yeah, bump scenarios now. This is funny because this is exactly what I assumed his workouts looked like. So a lot of you in the comments will say things like, how do I get better at practicing my bumps? You practice your bumps. Like this isn't game speed, obviously, but this is like just building up building up the footwork, building up the little details of like how many steps it takes, which step is, or which foot is going to go which direction, like what type of balance you're going to need. It's like building up that foundation. Then you need to rep out these scenarios against live defense, obviously, but if you're not going against live defense, like you can still get a lot out of volume reps, volume shooting sort of stuff. Just working on a little push shot here. He actually has, I guess we don't really get to see him use this shot much because this is usually something you use for like help side or on a short roll or something. And obviously in one-on-ones, there's not a lot of that. He's working on a left. I think probably the smaller you are, the more it pays to be able to finish with your left hand or your right hand. But when I teach floaters, I'm very just like, whatever your highest percentage, whichever one you can shoot at a higher percentage. So if you're playing the NBA, it's probably worth practicing with your left hand for a floater. Anything under that, like you can probably get the same shot off right or left. Just go with the one you're comfortable with. Because you're probably not playing against athletes that are, if you're shooting a floater and it gets blocked because you use the opposite hand, like that probably just wasn't a shot to take anyways at that level. But the NBA obviously pays. Yeah, I used to work on these religiously, especially with like a shooting machine. You can get up like tons of them. But I think it's really good for touch. And, you know, a lot of players will shoot a jump shot when they get this close to the basket. And like, you're rarely ever going to be open enough to take a jump shot without like some contact or whatever that they're typically not going to call a foul. The push shot is just so much more effective. We've actually been teaching a lot of our post players to only shoot this shot now. They're instead of them like shooting jumpers and it looks awkward and they're uncomfortable. I'm like, dude, anytime you get 2 feet in the key, push shot, just go up. Soft touch, put on the rim. Gives us another chance to rebound if you miss anyways, just put on the rim. So yeah, this is exactly what I thought his workout would look like. Let's skip ahead. He works in the same 5 spots. I'm telling you, I find a lot of similarities with Lat's game and how I used to play. And I just think like his mindset is very similar. That was a heavy ball too. Maybe we aren't the same. I don't. That's good for conditioning, I think, or if you're a person that's getting up thousands of shots already a week. If you're not, I think just volume shots is fine and better. I think working on your floater with the ball that you're going to use in the game is far better. Yeah, volume shooting. Probably going 10 in each spot. Or maybe he makes 10. Everyone's a little different. They either shoot 10 and you count your makes out of 10, or you make 10. I don't know how many he's shooting, but can't be bothered watching this. Oh, now he's going back and forth between the spots. So this, what he's doing. Oh, no, he's not. What he's doing is this type of workout. I will always tell people this is like a. Oh, look at his footwork too. So he's catching. I think this is important. He uses this. I think people call it like a trigger step, but he uses this footwork a lot into a shot. Very deliberate. This time he just does a little squat hop. So again, without context of the workout, he's either just shooting volume shots and he's not aware of what he's doing with his footwork, or he's being very deliberate with his footwork. Sometimes he's going to that little 2-foot hop, sometimes the trigger step. I think when you're getting volume shots, you should practice them all, especially if you're like an elite shooter or someone who's getting like a lot of opportunities to shoot in a game. You should practice them all and be deliberate, but again, don't overthink it. It's more important that you're just getting the shots up. Yeah, what I was going to say, this workout is like it's kind of like a conditioning while also getting reps, you know? Because this is like a exhausting, as much as he's done already, he's already fairly tired. Or not tired, but this is already like a lot of work, but he hasn't gone full speed on anything. So this wouldn't be to make you quicker, faster, stronger, but this would be like reps, attention to detail, focus. Every workout kind of has like a different purpose. So it'll be interesting to see what he does towards the end. All right, we'll speed through this. Now that he's getting tired, watching his footwork, even though like the end is the same, the little hop, watching the like steps in between the reps. He's like pushing into it, whereas before he was just like dropping down. It's interesting. Yeah, the more tired you get. He's mixing it up now. The Kobe. Honestly, he's just repping out shots. This is basketball at its finest. This is just what you do, man. I always say to people, like, if you don't like getting into the gym and just doing the same thing over and over for hours at a time, like maybe this level of basketball just isn't for you. Again, practicing his bump. Oddly enough, it's probably harder to do that shot without someone there to push off of. So the fact that he's getting these reps up, your body just kind of naturally does it in the game when that situation happens. Huh, interesting. Let's watch when he drives from this side. I want to watch his footwork. Crossover, so he likes to go crossover step off the catch. So split stance. So split stance just means like you're catching it and you can like rip and go either way. Either foot is your pivot foot. But even though he gets to pick his pivot foot, he goes crossover step. Again, not wrong. Not wrong. I just prefer onside step just because the options it gives, but you should be able to do both. But he's deliberately going crossover step, and then he does the same thing on the other side. You can tell he's worked on all this stuff so long that it just looks basic. But he went crossover step every single time. Isn't it funny? We've broken down a lot of NBA workouts, and the NBA players go with different footwork every time. Like they don't know what their footwork is. It's just random and different every time. Even this, he goes the other direction, and it's still crossover steps. A little bit of more of a split into his onside step. But again, we're splitting hairs, but the movement that he's making, crossover step. So then it's just important that whatever footwork you're doing, it just pairs up with your counters, it pairs up with your drives, it pairs up with your fakes. And that's why it pays to be like deliberate. And look, every time he goes, again, he doesn't have a trainer with, I don't know, the guy rebounding it might just be a friend or brother or just a fellow hooper, but he doesn't have the NBA trainer telling him like, hey, we're going to go bop, dot, dot, and then bop, bop. He's just in there getting worky and he's self-regulating. Look at it. His footwork's the same every time. Crossover step into that pound dribble. Hold on. Let's see if both directions he goes the same way, because you got to switch your feet a little different depending on what side you're on. So pound dribble. Yeah, he still hops. He hops into it. Then we'll go this side. Hops into it. Just has to be a bigger hop because you're getting your right foot all the way around. He's got the exact same footwork, both directions. Very good. Now shooting threes. Oof. Tired threes. Get him up. Get him up. Yeah, he's got such a square, like very, very unbalanced when he shoots. Very good. All right, let's go. Can someone tell me how many threes he was making typically? Like how many out of 10? Or whatever he was shooting? Ooh, we're getting into some T-Mac. So we just talked about all of your moves should pair together, right? Let's watch this. Split stance into a crossover step, into the punch dribble. Now he does it with a hang dribble this time, but he still goes into that dead leg or punch dribble, whatever you want to call it, that snatch back. Isn't it funny watching his snatch back, but then you watch Lamar Peters' snatch back and how different they are? Still the same move, still effectively the same thing. Now you get your 0.5 seconds of freedom, and now he's going into like a T-Mac hesitation pull-up. Ooh. But again, he gets to that elbow and you've got the pull-up, you've got the redrive like he was working on earlier, you've got the in and out between the legs like he was working out on earlier. All the things we see him doing as one-on-ones, he's literally practicing and repping out here. So fluid. Split stance, crossover step, punch dribble, be intentional. I tell players just finish those reps. When you mess up, like just finish the rep because you're going to lose it in a game too. I don't like that wasn't good, do it again. But some players are like, no, I've got to earn it, got to go do another rep. Everyone's a little different. Man, he's so intentional. Every move looks the same. If I showed you the first one or the third one, you'd be like, yeah, that was the same. They're the same photo. Punch dribble into the hang, or crossover step into the hang dribble, punch dribble, hesitation pull up. It's so smooth. You guys let me know what you think. Like it's all the same. And it's the same on the right side too. Very detailed with his footwork. I wonder if he is intentional, like if he practiced all of this, or if he's just repped it out so many times, his body naturally like figured it out. Does that make sense? Because when I see people move like this, again, like we've watched a lot of his games, and I just think he's so efficient. I wonder if it's like very studied and detailed, or if maybe someone taught this to him, or if it just he happens to play this way and figured it out accidentally. I don't know. All right, what's he got now? Oh my gosh, kids. All right, I'm sending this workout to every single person in the world that's like, how do I work on moves? How do I work on? You just work on the situations you find yourself in the game. Boom, split stance to the crossover step, hang dribble into the snatch back, now into the T-Mac, the hesitation, the little T-Mac we just worked on. This time, instead of shooting, now he gets his onside step, drive left, one dribble to the basket. Remember, we were talking about once you make your move, one dribble to the basket, because it's the most efficient way to get there without letting the help get there or letting the defense recover. This is so nice. What do you guys think? How do you guys feel about this? Let's see. Exact same thing over here, huh? Where we are different though, I don't do workouts like these where this is just a long ass conditioning where this is 47 minutes of work. But I typically do volume shooting and my skill based stuff separately. So skill based, like shooting, ball handling, get that out of the way. That's usually 35 minutes for me, 35 to 40 minutes. Then I get into my moves. And when I do my moves, I go game speed. And because I wanted to build up that explosiveness, build up my speed and that game feel. And he may do some workouts like that too. Or he might be playing enough one-on-ones that's where he practices game speed. Man, crazy. It's identical both sides. All of his moves and footwork, it all just like packages together so nicely. Oh, and then into the step back. Now catch and shoots. So every time he catches, think about all those options in the flow chart that he has to a game. Catch and shoot, catch on a split stance and crossover step drive into punch dribble, snatch back into T-Mac hesitation pull up, or all of that into a redrive, into a crossover drive, into a step back. This video only had like 3.8 thousand views. For all the hoopers out there that want to learn how to like what the work looks like, this needs way more views, man. We gotta share this. And now split stance into a crossover step, that hang dribble, and remember he was doing a snatch back. Now he's going hang dribble into a pull up. It's just when we talk about flow charts, like this is a flow chart. Yeah, just his arm about to fall off, but other than that, great workout. What else he got? Another counter. Another counter. It's crazy. Like I used to work on all these same exact things. Again, we slightly varied in like how we approached our workouts, but I mean, this is one workout out of, I don't know how many he does a week. But for me, this was how I conditioned. Okay, internet, pick up. Ooh, what's this move? What's he got here? So now starting at half court, downhill. So that little hip swivel onside step. Is he just repping that out or variations of it? Yeah. Same thing. All right, let's see kind of what he ends with. I'll skip ahead a little bit because again, you guys can watch this on. No, you guys actually get mad when I skip ahead. So we're not going to skip ahead. I usually say, go watch the original. And you're like, coach, you should have just kept doing the whole thing. I'll keep going because this is really good. And I actually do want to see it. Hip swivel, onside step now instead of the shot, the step through. Everything just packages together. Let's skip to here though. He's hurting though. He is hurting. Oh, what's this one? Kobe. Again, like, he's almost starting over. Look how close he's starting. And now he's going one dribble. Well, two dribbles. Was he going one dribble first time? Okay, so when he starts close, he goes one dribble. When he starts a little bit further away, two dribbles. But his footwork and everything is the same. Watch. Catch, split stance. So remember how I said, like, onside drive or crossover step, which one should you do? And you guys ask all the time, like, is it wrong? No, it's not wrong. Just be intentional with what you do. Know what you do. It's the same thing when people ask me, like, what finger should I shoot with? Some coaches are going to tell you to shoot with these two, or it's this finger, or it's your middle finger. They're going to tell you which one you're supposed to. And I go, no. It doesn't matter which one. You just need to know which one, because everyone's form is different. Everyone's shot is different. You need to know what's best. Then you can build from there. Same thing here. Like, he goes crossover step all the time. So defensively, if I'm guarding him, these are some things that I'm aware of. He's not typically, I'm going to try to force him to use his onside step. So if his pivot foot is his right foot, I'm going to force him to drive left. I don't want him doing his crossover step, because then he can get into all of his moves that he's repping out. Does that make sense? That's defensively how you would scout this. And then if he's still good enough to score with an onside step, but at least he's getting into moves that he's not repping out literally every single day for hours on end, right? Where he has 1,000 counters. And this is what I talk about with Nesco. People are just like, how do you stop Nesco? He can do everything. It's like, exactly. That's why you got to just make him do one thing, because then at least you know what he's going to do and you can have a chance. Once you let him go both directions and you back off where you can shoot it, it's just like, I don't know how you guard him. Same with Lat. I think you got to force him to do one thing for a full game and see if he'll do it. Scoob kind of did it to Eugene, but Eugene was just, he's like, all right, if you keep making me do that, I'll just keep doing it. And that just showed, like, the professionalism of Eugene. That was probably my favorite game I've watched. What we got here? Catch. It's getting into his bag a little bit, I guess. See if he's intentional with this. So he's not as intentional with that movement up top. He's actually kind of lazy with it. Again, he's been going for nearly an hour, so. Yeah, okay, so crossover step. Negative step, crossover step, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, so like starting with that crossover step. Yeah, he's just hooping now. It's so, I used to, man, our workouts were very, as much as they were different, they're still very similar. I'd shoot all my deepest shots. I'd always finish at the end, but then also getting into your bag a little bit, and like once you're exhausted, it's like now's the time to work on the fun stuff. Fellas, I'm sorry, internet this slow in 2025, doing a little star drill or just back and forth? That wasn't me, that was the video. I used to work, sometimes I'd work out. I had a teammate that was probably the best shooter I ever played with. He went to Eastern Kentucky, I believe. But he would, I hated working out with him because the way he worked out, again, you guys know I'm process, not results. So you only get to shoot 10 shots. I'm trying, and whatever you get out of 10, that's your score. Whereas the teammate I played with would have, no, you've got to make 10. So we were very different. So it was good training with him because it was just a different way of thinking and challenging myself. But sometimes we'd be stuck at one spot forever. Well, I would, because he was used to training this way, but he would do stuff like this, like full court, down and back. shoot a corner three, you got to hit 3 in a row. So you can just imagine being in that drill and trying to hit 3 in a row. And he would get all the way around. Like, he would do all 5 spots, and it would take him 10 minutes less. Actually, not even that long. It wouldn't take him very long at all. But for me, man, I would get stuck for so long sometimes. Looks like Lat's just got to do a down and back and shoot a 3. I don't think he's going 3 in a row or anything. Yeah, this is way tougher to do than it looks, especially at the end of a workout. I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, we pretty much watched the whole thing. So this was awesome. For anyone from now on that is wanting to watch, like, how do I do a workout by myself? This was 47 minutes. And it was just pure work the whole time. So for anyone wanting to know, like, a workout or how to improve, if you're doing this, I won't even say every single day, because that's not realistic to ask of someone. If you're doing this 2 times a week to 3 times a week, there's no way you're not going to, like, you're going to see drastic improvements doing this, making sure you're still getting your strength and conditioning in with, like, weights, obviously. And as long as you're playing a couple times a week, if you're doing, this is plenty. This is plenty to become like a really, really proficient player. Just very intentional work for an hour straight. This was good. So you don't need to go to a gym for 2 hours, 3 hours. He did this in 47 minutes pretty much. Well, I don't know. There was some edits and some cuts, but this would have been about an hour probably of training. So let me know what you guys think. If you want me to do more workouts like this, I'll probably put this on the 3rd channel too, just because that's where we do more workouts and player specific things. But yeah, this was awesome. Go like, go subscribe, go follow Lat. Probably the best workout video I've seen, not because it's the best workout of all time, but literally this is what real hoopers do. This is what we do. It's just, this stuff doesn't get documented enough. So I think this was good. I want more of the guys to start putting their workouts up. I think it'd be really good for the space, but also for the amount of young kids out there that get a lot of benefit from this. So thank you guys. Appreciate you watching, and see you in the next one.